Capricorn, long before empires rose, long before kings carved their names into stone, before even the stars were named. There was a promise made in silence, a sacred pact forged deep within the spine of the earth, and it wasn't written in books, it wasn't sealed by crown or blood, it was written in something far older, the bones of the mountain. They called it the Pact of the Rebuilder, a divine oath made not for warriors, not for rulers, but for the ones strong enough to carry a crumbling world on their back, the ones who endure not for glory, but for purpose. That one is you, Capricorn. You've always felt it, haven't you? That weight, that pressure, not a punishment, but a calling. While others crave comfort, you crave structure. While others chase the spotlight, you carry the blueprint. You are the quiet force, the silent builder, the ancient architect reborn. You were never meant to be loud. You were meant to be lasting. In every lifetime, your soul has climbed higher, harder, even when no one watched, even when no one thanked you, because your spirit remembers the pact, the agreement made eons ago, when the world would collapse, when truth would be buried, when chaos would rule the valley. A Capricorn would rise from the rock and rebuild what was lost. This isn't mythology, this is memory. The earth remembers you. The storm makes way for you, and the prophecy is activating now. In 2025, the ancient ones are watching, the old codes are unlocking, and the mountain, your mountain, is calling you home. Capricorn, this world is breaking, and that is exactly why you were born. Not to fight, not to flee, but to rebuild, brick by brick, truth by truth, vibration by vibration, because when the dust settles, it will be you, standing among the ruins, with the divine blueprint in your hands. This is your time, this is your moment, and this is your mission. The ancient pact is real. The prophecy lives in your spine, and your soul is rising with the mountain. Capricorn, let's go back before calendars, before clocks, before kings, before the first city rose, before humans learned to speak their truths into them. There were watchers in the mountains, silent ones, ancient souls that didn't chase war. They listened to the earth. These mountain guardians felt the heartbeat of the world, and they saw something, a vision not just of creation, but of destruction. They saw a time when civilization would rise too fast, build on illusion, and eventually collapse under the weight of its own lies. But they didn't panic. They prepared. They forged a sacred pact, not with governments, not with gods, but with the cosmos itself. A pact to awaken a certain soul line when the earth fell into imbalance, not a savior in shining armor, but a restorer of balance, a rebuilder of order, a soul who could carry ancient truth into modern chaos. They didn't choose warriors, they didn't choose kings, they chose builders of the soul, those who would return lifetime after lifetime, carrying blueprints no one else could see, hearing frequencies no one else could hear. They carved this prophecy into the stone of sacred mountains, protected by wind, time, and shadow, until the moment you would return. Capricorn, you are the carrier of that pact, that knowing you've always felt inside, the desire to bring things back into alignment, to fix what's broken even when others walk away. That's not just your personality, that's memory. You weren't born to watch things fall apart. You were born to rebuild what others abandoned. That need for structure in your life, it's ancestral. That constant pressure you feel to do more, it's not pressure, it's purpose. The Mountain Pact lives in your bones. Every time you've been pushed down, every time life made you climb alone, it was the mountain testing its chosen one. Because this world, right now, is falling. Old systems are crumbling, lies are being exposed, and many are afraid, but not you. You've trained for this moment across centuries. Your soul didn't come here to escape, it came here to endure, to stay rooted while everything else shifts, to hold the line when others scatter. Capricorn, you are not just a zodiac sign, you are a symbol of sacred structure, a spiritual architect with divine blueprints etched in your DNA. This isn't just your story, it's your assignment. The pact has been activated. The earth remembers what the sky once promised, and it's calling you to rise, not fast, but with purpose, with clarity, with strength no chaos can shake. The question isn't if you're ready. The question is, will you remember the pact and rise? Capricorn, look around you. Everything is shaking. The systems you were told to trust are collapsing. Governments are cracking. Leaders are failing. Truth is manipulated, twisted, bought, and sold. Families are fractured, communities disconnected, purpose traded for profit, souls drowning in distraction, noise, and numbing routines. But this collapse, it's not random. It was seen. Centuries ago, mystics and mountain prophets spoke of a future age, an age where the world would forget its foundation, where illusion would rule, where the surface would dominate, and the soul would be silenced. And they said, when the pillars of society fall, the soul of the mountain will rise. Capricorn, that soul is you. That inner pressure you feel, that desire to fix, heal, rebuild what no one else even notices, that's not a burden. That's a signal, a call from something older than civilization itself. You weren't made to collapse with the rest. You were made to stand tall, like the mountain itself, and guide others home. You don't crave chaos, you crave order, not control, clarity. You see how things can be better, not louder, not faster, but wiser. And while others panic when the structures fall, you start building, brick by brick, truth by truth. You don't need applause, you don't need credit, because your mission isn't external, it's eternal. You've always known this time would come. And even if you couldn't name it, your soul recognized the signs. The crumbling institutions, the rising anxiety, the silence in the noise, the loneliness in a crowded world. These were the signs of a world off balance, and they activated the Capricorn soul. You are not a follower, you are a pillar. Others may lead with fire, you lead with foundation. When things fall apart, people look to you. Why? Because you carry the blueprint. Because your roots go deeper than fear. This isn't about ego, this is about responsibility. The world doesn't just need rebels, it needs restorers, people who can take chaos and create structure, take pain and build purpose, take broken system and engineer rebirth. That's your magic, Capricorn. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it's real, it's ancient, and it's what holds civilizations together when everything else falls. So when the collapse comes, don't be afraid. You were born for this, not to run, not to hide, but to rise with the mountain inside you and rebuild a fallen world, Capricorn. Have you ever wondered why your path has felt heavier than others? Why your lessons came early and often without mercy? Why life never handed you shortcuts? Only mountains? It's not because you were cursed, it's because you were feared, because they know what you carry. You see, your soul holds codes, ancient ones, blueprints that were written long before this world fell into illusion, codes that do not obey chaos, but dismantle it. You've always been different, not loud but deep, not flashy but firm, not seeking attention but responsibility. You didn't come here to play the game. You came here to rewrite it, and that's exactly why they tried to break you early. Because when your light activates, when your structure awakens, you don't just survive, you rebuild everything around you. You are not weak, you are not cold, you are forged. Forged in silence, forged in pain, forged in long nights when no one saw your fight but the sky. Capricorns are built like mountains, layered through pressure, refined through trials, rooted deeper with every storm. You've been betrayed because you're loyal. You've been misunderstood because your vision sees further. You've been made to carry burdens because your back could handle what others dropped. Not everyone is ready for what you came to do, and they shouldn't be, because your soul didn't sign up for ordinary. You were chosen to rebuild the broken grid, to restore balance in a world addicted to extremes, to hold divine structure while others spiral into ego. That kind of power, it threatens the systems built on illusion. That's why you've been tested, not once, not twice, but your whole life, not to destroy you, but to shape you. The deeper the calling, the heavier the preparation. They don't train warriors with pillows, and they don't forge soul architects with ease. You have endured more because you carry more. You are the memory of what once was true. You are the energy of sacred responsibility. You are the spine of the new world, already forming beneath the ruins. And yes, you've cried alone. Yes, you've questioned your worth. But deep inside, you've always known. You're not meant to blend in. You're meant to anchor. You didn't come here to feel light all the time. You came here to hold the light, while others learn to carry their own. So if you feel tired, it's okay. If you feel heavy, that's your mountain rising. They feared your soul, because it cannot be manipulated, it cannot be broken, and it cannot be stopped. Capricorn, you weren't meant to crumble under pressure. You were meant to become indestructible because of it. Capricorn, you were not born empty. You came into this life with something encoded deep inside you. A blueprint, a divine architecture, a sacred map buried beneath the noise of the world. You didn't choose it. You are it. It's why chaos makes you uncomfortable. Why you can walk into a space and feel what's out of alignment. Why even in your quiet moments, you're scanning, observing, analyzing. You don't just react to the world, you read it. Relationships, businesses, spiritual paths, you can see the cracks before they split. You sense what's unstable. You feel what's false. Not because you're judgmental, but because you carry the blueprint of what should be. Others might call it cold. They say you're too distant, too serious, too structured. But here's the truth. They don't understand the depth of your vision. You're not here to play with plastic foundations. You're here to rebuild the bones of a broken system. Capricorn, your gift isn't in speed, it's in precision. Your soul doesn't rush, it calculates. Like the mountain, you don't shift for every storm. You withstand. You know that real change isn't loud, it's consistent, it's grounded, it's intentional. That's why others crumble under pressure, and you organize. That's why when something falls apart, you ask, what's the root cause? What's the structure behind the chaos? You were born to fix what others won't even look at. You bring order to emotional storms. You bring stability to chaotic minds. You build futures from broken bricks. This is your divine blueprint in action. And while others are chasing trends or running from truth, you are quietly laying the foundation of something timeless. You don't need validation. You don't seek the spotlight, because your soul signed up to build, not perform. And that takes a rare kind of strength. Capricorn, you are a master architect of energy, a designer of destiny, not just for yourself, but for the collective. The way you think, strategic. The way you move, intentional. The way you love, committed, grounded, and real. So don't let the world convince you to soften your edges. Your clarity is a gift. Your seriousness is sacred. Your focus is exactly what this chaotic world needs, because while everyone else is looking for instant gratification, you are building something that lasts for generations. And the blueprint? It's not outside you. It's not in a book or a guru or a guide. It's in you, in your soul, in your scars, in your instincts. Trust it, follow it, and don't apologize for it, because when the dust settles, it's the Capricorn design that will still be standing. Capricorn. 2025 isn't just another year, it's a spiritual checkpoint, a cosmic alarm clock set lifetimes ago. And now, it's ringing inside your soul. Something ancient that unwelcomed is reawakening in you. A mission buried beneath years of responsibility, quiet pain, and invisible strength is beginning to stir again. You've always sensed it. That your life wasn't random, that your struggles weren't punishments, they were preparation. The heartbreaks, training your emotional depth, the isolation, teaching you how to hear your soul in silence. The weight you carried that no one else saw, that was your spiritual armor being built. Capricorn, your mission is reactivating. You'll begin to attract people who feel familiar, not from this life, but from other lifetimes. Builders like you, soul architects, visionaries who remember the blueprint you carry. You'll no longer tolerate shallow. You'll no longer accept systems that drain your soul, because your compass is realigning, and it's pointing you to the work you came here to do. You'll be called to repair what others abandoned. You'll be asked to lead in ways that don't look like leadership. You'll stop doubting your path and start honoring it. And suddenly, everything will make sense. Why you were always the responsible one. Why your childhood felt older than it should have. Why you've had to hold everyone else up, even while silently struggling. You weren't being punished. You were being forged. The mission isn't about fame. It's not about followers. It's about foundation. You're here to restore what was lost, not just in the world, but in people's hearts. Your solitude wasn't a void. It was sacred space where your soul could remember. Your silence wasn't weakness. It was strategy, a pause before the return. You don't need to become someone new. You need to remember who you've always been, a guardian of order, a bringer of truth, a stabilizer in a spinning world. Others are just now waking up, but you've been waiting for this moment your whole life. The mission reawakens now, and it's not loud, it's clear. Your steps will become more intentional, your energy more protected, your time more sacred, because the mountain doesn't run, it rises. And Capricorn, so will you. From this moment on, your soul is no longer asleep, your path is no longer hidden, and your power, once silent, will begin to echo across the world. You weren't meant to follow, you weren't meant to fit in, you were meant to rebuild everything they thought would stay broken. Your mission isn't coming, it's already here, and so are you. Capricorn, you've always known you were different, not louder, but deeper, not here to be seen, but to build what lasts. Now you understand why. The pact was never just a story. It wasn't a metaphor. It was a contract, forged in the bones of the earth, written in sacred vibration, signed by your soul, long before this life began. It was hidden in time, buried beneath lifetimes of struggle, pressure, and silence. And now, it's waking up. You are the return. The answer to a call that has echoed across dimensions. You didn't stumble into this life. You chose it, with all its weight, responsibility, and solitude, because you knew, when the world crumbles, when false leaders fall, when chaos takes the stage, the mountain would rise. The architect would return. The Capricorn soul would remember. And now, you have. You're not here to follow trends. You're here to reestablish truth, to remind the world of what's real, what's timeless, what's eternal. The pact wasn't about glory, it was about duty, spiritual duty, earthbound mission, cosmic order. You are the builder of what comes next. You are the stabilizer in unstable times. You are the living blueprint for the new foundation. And when others scatter in fear, you stand in silence and begin to rebuild. Because that's what you do. That's what you've always done. Across timelines, across lifetimes, across worlds. Capricorn, you are not here to collapse under pressure. You are the pressure that reshapes the world. You were never weak. You were never behind. You were simply being prepared. Now, your role begins. Let the world watch, let the noise fade, let the dust settle. Because what rises now is you, rooted, real, ready. You are the mountain. You are the architect. You are the ancient one who returns when all else falls. Comment below. I carry the mountain pact. I awaken now. Like this video if your soul has always felt ancient, responsible, and destined for more. Subscribe to unlock your sacred Capricorn mission and never miss another soul prophecy. Share this with a Capricorn who needs to remember who they truly are. Outro music fades in. Epic drums, soft strings, whispers of wind across stone cliffs, the feeling of destiny fulfilled.